Hi, everyone, and welcome. We are going to be talking about sleep today, sleeping smarter so that we can unlock the power of rest for our better health. If you have any questions, please feel free to give Dr. Justine a quick text at 647-987-9355. I wanted to welcome Dr. Justine. She is our leader here at the Justine Blainey Wellness Center, and she is a passionate warrior for you and your family's health. Her main objective is to provide you with the very best care for you so that you can get the best results for yourself. Please help me welcome Dr. Justine.
All right, everybody, tons of information coming your way because you need your sleep for your brain health, for your function, for your muscles. But we want you to be aware of what's coming up in January. We have a ton on nutrition and weight loss. We will be talking at our dinner, Dine with Doc, about how to manage stress, how to deal with difficult people, how to get your joy, how to get your mojo, your energy going, and the 9 hidden causes of fat gain coming your way. So always something new, share with a friend. But today we're talking about sleep. And the reality is that it is a huge problem. More and more people have heart disease, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, autism, all over the world, and it's making tons and tons of money. It's about profits, not the people. We are becoming victims of sickness and disease machine. And so today is about choosing a new model, a maximized living model, working on the 5 essentials: maximizing your mind, maximizing your nutrition, maximizing your mindset, your nutrition, your nerve flow, your muscles, and minimizing those toxins. So we're talking about getting that sleep and changing to a maximized living mindset. We want to make sure that we are getting the best sleep possible. So there's a challenge out there. People are drowning. People are in icy waters. Our goal at the Justine Blainey Wellness Center is provide you a lifeboat to that new maximized living lifestyle. And it does start with good quality sleep. And I'm talking to myself as well. I don't sleep a lot. My Whoop, all right, that's this black band, is always telling me to sleep more. But I get amazing quality sleep every time and no stress sleep. So your Whoop, your different types of Fitbit or different types of watches can really help you look and monitor your sleep. Challenge right now is that children are not getting enough sleep. Adults are not getting enough sleep, and that affects mental health, affects concentration, it affects impulse control, so meaning over shopping, depression, anger, patience, anxiety. All of that is related, not just for adults, but for children as well. So when we have a lack of sleep, it affects how your brain gets rid of waste. It affects how your body increases those beta amyloids. It increases sleep fragmentation, so it affects memory decline. It affects how you consolidate different memories. It affects your learning, it affects your emotions. So our sleep is crucial, not just for adults, but for especially teenagers as well. So how much sleep do you need? Children up to teenagers need a lot more. Adults, somewhere between 6.5 to 8 hours. If you sleep beyond 8 hours, you often can be over fatigued. And so that sleeping in 10, 12 hours is not good. You can't just catch up on the weekends. Pregnancy can increase sleep, as well as seniors need more sleep. So this is an area where, of course, I will struggle. I'm typically 10:38 p.m. to 4:30 a.m. So that's only 6 hours. So ideally, you are sleeping more. The key part about that, though, is similar time frames and the time before midnight. So 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. is not the same as 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So crucial that time at before midnight, and then trying to stay in those same hours. Those who have shift work with affecting their circadian rhythm, even if they're getting 7 hours sleep, is very, very difficult. So there are different stages of sleep. And we want to be able to talk about sleep levers coming up, how to improve your sleep quality. But if we go through these stages, the first stage is in that transition from being awake to sleep. And that's the light sleep. On my Whoop, it will show different colors of blue and then orange if you're under stress sleep. But under different types of phones or devices, it will show light sleep versus deep sleep and quality sleep. As you get to stage 2, your temperature drops, your heart rate drops, and now you're really getting into that wakefulness sleep. And then stage 3 is where all the healing happens. This is where your growth hormones improve, your body relaxes, your body's in a repair state, your body's remembering and organizing your memories, your metabolism is regulated. This is when it's going to help with sugar cravings and appetite control. It helps if you're not getting that deep sleep, then you're more hungry. So even though I'm sleeping less, I can show that I'm getting a lot of quality sleep and deep sleep because I'm able to dump the stresses before I go to bed. And we'll talk about how you can do that with gratitude time, prayer, meditation, and reading a book, like a real book, not with paper, rather than playing on your phone, and certainly not on TV. Your glymphatic system is also working at this stage in stage 3. And it works, this stage happens mostly in the early part of the night. So that's why it's really, really crucial to get those time in bed and not be up watching TV or watching Netflix right before bed. Finally, as you get to stage 4, this is crucial for your emotional health, your mental health. This is where the REM sleep is happening. Your brain is functioning at its best. And that's where you're going to get the best hormone and emotional control to manage stresses, manage frustration, manage disappointments. So when you get into that deep sleep, it's going to help you with that growth repair. It's also going to help you with your immune system, your energy. This is when your brain is clearing out. It's cleaning out the garbage. It's cleaning out the metabolic waste, like those beta amyloids. It's helping with your memory. It's helping with your hormones. It's helping manage cortisol and your metabolism. So high quality phase 3 sleep is going to help with cognitive function. And this is super important as we're seeing seniors, including my own parents, their memories are not what they were before. They are trying to make a list, but losing their list or not even being able to read their own writing. So super important to get to this deep sleep into that stage 3, and then finally into that REM sleep, that stage 4 sleep, which is going to help with your emotions, going to help with your memory, and also even brain development, helping your brain be more plastic, be able to absorb more. And this is super important for children and infants as they're growing. So we're going to talk about those 3 levers that's going to improve your sleep. Number 1 is getting that sunlight. And of course, that's difficult in the winter. When I get up at 4:30 and go to work, it's still dark. So some people can use a light. You can purchase them on Amazon. And then, of course, making sure if you are going to bed early, you have the blackout blind, you have a dark room. For those who have, shift work, making sure the dark out blinds. I had one fire chief, and he would sleep in his cellar because he knew it would be cool as well as it would be very dark. So getting that sun time, and if you're really part of the SAD, seasonal affective disorder, buying a light therapy lamp can be super effective. Number 2 is the cold. So making sure the temperature in your room where you're sleeping is cooler, no TV, no blue light. And then making sure the first part of your shower is trying to get yourself awake very quickly if you have challenges with cold water. Now, the good news is you can finish with warm water, but this will teach your body that you can do hard things. Yes, you can push through that 10 to 30 seconds. And as you get better, closer to a minute, It gets rid of what we call our inner crybaby, where we're like, oh, I don't want to do it. But as you do it more often, it gets easier. You beat that negative Nelly voice, but it helps you wake up. So for those who are challenged with waking up, for me, I'm excited to wake up and get to work and see my friends and help patients. So I'm a very early riser, even on holidays. But for others, they need something to wake them up. If you think you need that coffee, then try the colder showers and start to practice learning, maybe even doing some cold plunges. That can help you as well. The cold showers, we know, strengthen your circadian rhythm, gives you that body, that clock to wake up. And it also raises your cortisol, so it helps you get going. It'll boost your daytime alertness, which helps you sleep better later on. And not only just sleep better, but stay asleep longer and get a better quality evening sleep. It reduces your stress because it helps you learn how to manage stress. So it can be what's called your circadian anchor to tell your body, hey, it's wake up time, it's morning time, let's go, let's take over. The optimal temperature for your sleep is a cooler room, 65 to 68 degrees. Now, level 3. As we go into level 3, this is looking at caffeine, making sure you're not drinking caffeine after 2 p.m. So if you are having caffeine, I do have tea. Try to have that caffeine earlier in the morning. For me, I try to have it always before 8 a.m. But that, again, I'm an earlier morning, and working to have more herbal teas to make it easier. If you wake up in the middle of the night, that's often a histamine dump. That means your body is not controlling the circadian rhythm well. And I'm not talking just getting up to go pee and then quickly falling back to sleep, but I'm staying awake and not being able to get to sleep. This is often that your histamine, which is a neurotransmitter that promotes wakefulness, is saying, hey, let's go, let's go. And it doesn't know how to calm down at the end of the night. So careful which meals you eat before bed and how you stimulate your eyes, your energy before bed. So meals that contain cheeses, aged cheeses, fermented foods, shellfish, fruits, can overload your system with histamine and wake you up before bed. So ideally eating before 6 p.m. Will also make a big difference. Trying to make sure you eat 3 hours before bed and no nighttime snacking. So some of the histamine-rich foods to avoid before bed are tofu, soy sauces, aged cheeses, mushrooms, chocolate, yeast products, sauerkraut, smoked fish, seeds, nuts, vinegar, sweetened vegetables, sweetened carbonated drinks, like no pop, no sodas, processed meats like bacon, sandwich meats, fermented drinks like alcohol, overripe fruits, and even leftovers. So this is coming from the Healthy Gut Institute, trying to avoid these high levels of histamines right before bed, and trying to eat and increase that fasting time. So if that means if you eat 3 hours, don't eat 3 hours before bed, and then you sleep 7 hours, you're getting a minimum of 7 to 8 hours of fasting time, which will help your body to heal and recuperate. Now, sometimes stress can affect your sleep. You're stressed, you're overwired, your adrenals are pumping out cortisol, because before, when we're stressed, it was like running away from an animal, and that was productive, or to hunt for food. But now we're stressed by traffic and constant deadlines, schoolwork, relationships, renovations, over demands in the home and at work. And so we're overwired, and we have what's called adrenal stress. And then eventually, if it becomes too severe, it becomes adrenal fatigue. Our adrenals just shut down and we don't know, which affects our ability to deal with hormones and cortisol. So this is when you're exhausted in the afternoon, increased anxiety or feeling on edge, increased frustration, depression, anxiety, weight gain in the middle, which affects fatty liver or fat around your organs, affecting your immune system, brain fog, and constant body aches. So it's super important to realize this sleep is a crucial part, and not just quantity of sleep, but quality of sleep. And to get quality of sleep affects what you is affected by how you manage stress during the day. So some of the sleep hygiene hints is making sure you turn off your brain at night, and just get away from those beta and gamma waves that you see right at the top of the chart, because there's different levels of those brain waves, and we can get so-called stuck in those faster brain waves that you see at the beta and gamma rays at the top of the chart. And our goal is to get, when we're sleeping, down to those slower waves that you see delta. There's a slower progression versus the lines going up and down. And our sleep routine affects these waves. Now, one of the ways to improve the brain activity and brain waves is breathing exercises. So box breathing, 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold. And let me say that again. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. And if that's difficult, start with 8 in, 8 out, then 10 in, 10 out, 12 in, 12 out, 15 in, 15 out, slowing your breath down. Gratefulness time, meditation, prayer. My husband always says, read the Bible. Something that's going to slow you down is going to help you get to sleep. Avoid blue light. So that includes TV, your iPad, games before bed. I know that if I'm scrolling before bed, you do not get a good quality sleep. So we always put our phones in the bathroom away from our heads while they're charging. So avoid that blue light and devices close to your head. Even alarm clocks, if they have light, get one that shuts the light down away from your head, because we're not designed to be on devices. We're designed to talk, to read, to meditate, to pray before bed. Now, chiropractic does help your sleep because chiropractic reduces stress on your body. It helps what's called your vagus nerve, which affects right at the top part of your neck. It improves how your body gets into that parasympathetic nervous system to rest and digest. But what's happening to society, and you see in this picture, is we're getting more on our phones. So we're more head down. We're more on our computers. We're more lifting. And even in the cold, people are raising their shoulders. And you'll see in the picture, instead of our ear over our shoulder over our hips, people are starting to crunch forward, which affects and destroys the brainstem and affects that vagus nerve that controls your parasympathetic nervous system. It will, when you're getting adjusted, that helps your vagus nerve that goes to all the organs in your body. It's the longest traveling nervous system. It, of course, helps reduce those stress hormones so you can sleep better. It can improve your HRV. It can lower that nighttime arousal so you can sleep longer with better quality, less wakefulness. It slows down those wavelengths so that you can get to more of those slower wavelengths for sleep. And it will also help with inflammation, reduce inflammation in the body. So here's an example of Tim, of horrible sleep for Tim, waking up multiple times a night, only getting 4 hours, he thinks, of sleep, even though he's laying there. So the good thing is a friend referred him to a chiropractor. He never knew that his sleep could be affected by his brainstem. And so he finally gets an x-ray, and you can see on the x-ray how his neck is completely straight. So he starts a course of chiropractic care. And for some people, that's daily. Some people, it's 3 times a week. It's dependent on how much damage is there. Well, he is 100% loss of that normal curve. Of course, it's pinching of that. That's a slang term, but crushing on those nerves, causing a stress response. So he starts with corrective spinal care, not just feel good spinal care. It's not like he has a painful neck. He's not getting good quality sleep. He's getting increased cortisol response and increased histamine dump. So he starts with a corrective care, his spinal rehab daily, and you can see the change in the curve come back into his neck. Before that, he was trying sleeping pills, sleeping herbs, alcohol, but none of it was working because his brain stem was not in the proper shape. So it doesn't matter how much lotion, potion, pills, whatever you absorb, if your brain stem's not in the right shape, you don't have his best success rate in taking the stress off of your body. So it's crucial that everybody gets a spinal checkup, get an x-ray of your neck, find out if it's alordotic, which means it's straight, and do you have the proper lordosis, the proper C curve with your ear over your shoulder so your brain stem's functioning at its best and you don't have that vagal tone or vagal stress on your nervous system. Now, in previous talks, we have tons of hints on how to improve your vagal tone, which improves your vagus nerve. For example, breathing in 4, 7, 8, in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. We had ones where you're tapping on C1. Those are all amazing hints that helps your nervous system. But the most important thing is get a checkup. Your nervous system controls all function in your body. And if it's stressed out, you can't be at your best. So stay tuned with us. Get that good quality sleep first, and then focus on quantity of sleep. Stay tuned with us. We have so much more for you, for family, for friends. So please share it, and please do a review. Sleep well.